What's good, everybody? It's your boy Tony the Savant, back with another one, another edition of Sports and Motivation. I got my big bro here, man, a good friend of mine, Mr. Nick Shine. How you doing, man?
What's up, Tony? How you doing, man? Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Real good, big bro. Real good. Um, y'all know the concept behind sports and motivation, man. And getting on in the network of the guys that I like to, some of my peers in this sports talk lane. We talk about athletes all day, contracts, scores, numbers. But I kind of want to give a behind the scenes of some of the how some of the guys that you watch, some of their stories and some of the struggles that we got to go through to bring you all this high class content. But nonetheless, big bro, I like to start off. You let the audience know where they can find you.
You can find me in multiple places. On the stream here, I have Proud NYJ fans. If you go to YouTube, Google, type in Proud New York Jets fans, I will pop up. And you'll also find me on the IOW Sports Network with Lamar and Jamel. We do Mondays and Thursdays, 4 to 6. And we're heavy on the NFL. We'll squeeze in like 5 minutes of baseball, if that, in a
Yeah.
2-hour show. But it's heavy football talk. Lamar's a Chiefs fan. Mel's a Lions fan. I'm a Jets fan. So we're all competitive. It's a
Yeah.
nice little circle. Lions beat the Chiefs. Chiefs beat the Jets. So it's fun. We will entertain you outside of sports as well. It's a lot of laughs.
That's for sure. That is for sure. I really enjoy the channel, all the work y'all boys doing over there, man.
Thank you.
Lamar was up here for the first show, for the first edition of it. And we were just talking about, the EAO time y'all be having up there. You up there acting crazy.
Oh, it's not an act. I am crazy. It's not an act.
You can feel it through the screen, big bro.
Yeah. We've had chemistry from day one. This would be 2021, 2 years ago. Draft day 2021 is the first show I did with them, and the first time I popped on, it's like right away we had a chemistry together. And when the show ended, we're all like, we got to keep doing this. That was good.
Yeah, I like that.
It's been a blast.
Let me ask. Well, we can start off. How did you find the IOW Sports Network? I mean, you say you've been working with them for about 2 years now, but how did the link up happen?
Through a mutual friend. We were both in a group, Chop Sports, and a guy I used to work with, Hassan. Lamar was friends with him, and then we had commented a little bit, and we were talking some draft stuff, and I was like, oh, I love doing draft stuff. He's like, oh yeah, he goes, maybe I'll have you on the show. And I do full round one mocks, and that's been like my thing, like the draft guru on for IOW. So it's worked out well. It was something that wasn't searched out. It's just kind of like, hey, pop on and do something, and it snowballed into something really good.
Yeah, something organic. I love that.
Yeah.
You definitely could feel it as a fan of the show, and the fan of you gentlemen. You definitely could feel the vibes through the show, man. I got something really good going on over there. All right, well, let's get into some of the backstory, if you don't mind, big bro.
Fire away.
What got you into sports?
My dad.
Same.
I turned 45 in a couple of days, and growing up in the 80s, I mean, what else was there to do? You had sports. That was it. We didn't have the internet. We were outside all goddamn day. I remember summers, 9:00 in the morning, we'd be outside either playing ball. We had a field a couple streets away from us that gas lines ran through, so they couldn't build homes on it. And it was an open field. And I wish to God that there was Google Maps to see the field, because in just an open grass field, we had worn out the grass with the baseball diamond because we were there playing every day. We would play in the morning. We kept stats. I was down at the basketball court all day on New Dover Road in Colonia, New Jersey, and people would come from around to play me. You had to come play Shine at Dover. Like, people traveled to different places. Like, yo, we got to go play Shine at Dover. And I would have people come up and be like, yo, you're Shine? Like, I got to play you. I brought my 5. We're going to play. I'm like, all right. I'm like, I'll take these 4 random guys. Let's rock. So I played ball. I stopped playing football after my freshman year. I had broken my nose in a street tackle game and stopped playing. And my mom was very instrumental in me not playing, and I regret it, man. 6'3", 228 muscle, fast as hell in high school. DN had me screaming all over, man. And
Damn.
DN, tight end, quarterback, I could throw the ball 70 yards, but the 5'7", I'm 6'3", the 5'7" quarterback, his father was the offensive coordinator. I was like, everything's got to be a rollout. This guy can't see over the line. He's smaller than Doug Flutie, and you got your son playing quarterback. I'm like, fuck this, I'm out. So I just focused on basketball.
I like that, bro. That's kind of how it went for me too. I was a baseball dude, and my mom, she did not. I came with the permission slips for football, and she was just like, nope. But behind her back, I try out for the team because my football coach was the baseball coach. So I was like, let me just go out there and see. Because I thought I was gonna go out there and moss some guys, back in the '90s, and then. The star linebacker for the team, man. That cat, I was coming across for a route. That cat hit me so hard. I'm like, you know what, coach? I'm going back to baseball, man. Moms know best, allegedly. So.
Yeah, even when they don't, we got to let them think they do. We got to swallow it, right?
Hey, facts. Yeah. Let that illusion. Don't ruin the
Disney. You get on a podcast that they won't watch, then you're like, damn, they fucked me up.
Yeah. It's funny. I tell my mom about this. My mom, the kind of lady, she won't watch one tittle of football, but she'll watch the Super Bowl for the halftime show. That's the kind of sports fan she is. So probably got to start doing some more Taylor Swift content for her. But you said you did sports, big bro. Football, basketball.
I played. For years, I was a goalie for a traveling soccer team. I bowled. I played baseball, travel baseball. I played football a couple of years. Basketball, I was always on the all-star travel teams for basketball. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
those are the ones that I played competitively. And back in the '80s, they didn't give out little stupid medals, man. I had trophies upon trophies, man. We did well and everything. And I had a growth spurt at an early age, so. From the end of 4th grade to the beginning of 6th grade, I grew 14 inches in 14 months. So I was 6'1" at the beginning of 6th grade. My group photos are me here with the coaches and the kids down here. My mom had to bring the birth certificate everywhere we went. My dad thought I was going to be 7 foot. He was all excited. And then all of a sudden I grew 2.5 inches the rest of my life. And true to form, disappointed him.
And a little league coach, man. You were the big kid. Yeah, we had to double check.
Fact. Yeah, it was oh man, the movie with I Am 12 with the old Puerto Rican guy with the baseball certificate.
I'm familiar with the movie. I haven't seen it.
Grown Ups. Was it not Grown Ups with David Spade and Rob Schneider and them? He has the birth certificate, I think.
Yeah, I think that was Grown Ups.
It was the roommate from Prison Break. I forget his name.
Nah,
the Hispanic roommate from Prison Break.
I'm gonna be honest. Prison Break, I got into that show, but I don't know. I just couldn't stick, man. It's always one of those that stick with me.
That first season, I know it's off topic, but that first season of Prison Break is the best season of network television I've ever seen in my life.
I will concede that. Yeah,
it was 24. 24 was really good, but that first season of Prison Break, that was just next level stuff.
I will concede that because I didn't start. I didn't really get uninterested till the 3rd season. And it was it's the one black dude that's in the show. He got out of prison, went to go see his daughter or something like that in school.
Benchwarmers. It's from Benchwarmers.
The Benchwarmers? Okay, yeah. I definitely seen that one in a while. I've seen Grown Ups more recently. But
I knew it was one of those movies that Spade was in.
I Am 12. Yeah, it was you, move. That's funny. So with all of the sports that you play, big bro, which one was your favorite? Would you say football and you dealt with basketball, or basketball and you like football too?
I quit everything to play basketball.
Yeah,
I joked. I joked. I played basketball through high school. It was all division senior year, and when I got out of high school, I started coaching basketball immediately for youth sports. I was 17 coaching kids who were 11. Mm-hmm. And I always told them, focus on your grades. I'm like, I was a 6'3" white power forward. Where the hell was I going? You know what I mean? But like, I loved it so much that I let it blind me from all the other sports, and I didn't want to stop playing ball. I would be the kid out at the public court with a shovel and an ice pick, breaking up the ice, because in 1996 we had Northeasterns. We had 2.5 weeks straight of no school because
Mhm.
we had rain that froze, snowstorm, melted a little bit, froze again. Like there was like shut down streets. Like it was ice. They couldn't break it up. And
Mhm.
me and the boys brought shovels and ice picks down to the court. And I called the coach. I was like, "Hey, we got court availability." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I go, "We cleared the court off. We got a half court." So our basketball team in high school were having a practice outside in like 28 degrees, just going through the offense and the motions to keep it going. Like my love for the game was just unmatched. I wish I stuck with football, but my love for basketball was just nothing to compare to playing the game.
That's so dope, big bro. That's so dope to hear. I thought I was the only person that was like that, man. I would sleep with my basketball. So, like Spalding or Wilson, whichever
Exactly.
one it was. Anyway.
I remember before I was old enough to play against the high school kids, being 7th, 8th grade. Like I said, I was 6'1". I would go down to the court in the summer at 10 o'clock in the morning with my jug and a little cooler, and I would be there. Sometimes they didn't show up. No one had cell phones back then. People were just
Yeah.
driving by. They would yell, 2:30, 3:30. I was there from 10 o'clock in the morning. High school kids would show up, and I'll never forget my boy, Jack Johnson. We still talk about it. He's about 4 or 5 years older than me. And
Mhm.
he would show up, and then a couple other people, all the cars would roll up, and they'd be like, "All right, I got my 5, you got 5." He goes, "No, this kid's been out here since 9:45 this morning. I was going to work, and I saw him. He's on the first game." My dad would bring me at 2:45 when he got home from work, would bring me new sandwich, new jug of Gatorade. Like, I didn't leave. I was there from 10 in the morning till dark almost every day in the summer. It was wild.
And
You
you
don't
just
see
I
that
mean,
no more.
a different world. I was like, yeah, it's a different world than now, man. Because I mean, my kids, they outside. Well, I would say more so like my nephews and nieces. They in that teenage age, but man, just all day or on them damn video games. Which look, I always tell them too. I can't knock them because that's y'all's time. If we grew up with the Nintendo and the Sega, and we spent a fair share of time on that. But
Yeah. I'll tell
it's
you
like,
I'll tell you a quick story. I was playing Nintendo, and
mm-hmm,
I was playing Galaga, and I had the three-headed monster in Galaga, and
classic.
I was at a level that I'd never been to before. And my mom, my dad, my uncle, my grandparents, my sister, my cousin were sitting there watching me play. And I'm just playing, and everyone's like, "It's crazy. This is ridiculous." And the phone rang. My mom's like, "Nikki, it's John." I'm like, "What's he want?" She's like, "He wanted to let you know they're all going out to play football." I go, "Oh, okay, cool." And I lean forward and I shut the game off. And everyone's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Going outside to play." Like that don't happen anymore. Like the game was time filled. The game was rainy day stuff. Nowadays, it's like, "Oh, I gotta go outside." No, man, we looked forward to that.
Hey man, big bro. Hey,
Knocking on
said,
doors. Can Danny come out and play? Can John come out and play? Can Onaje come out? Like all the guys up the block.
hey man, you ain't kidding. And there was no such thing as unplanned again. I mean, I guess they started becoming that eventually, but nah, I don't remember none of me and my boys was out there in the streets or the park or the baseball
Yeah,
field and just meeting up.
yeah,
And you right, no cell phone, so it was everybody meeting up at 8:30 in the morning.
yeah.
Ridiculous.
In the summer, we had our parents syncing up dinner time so that we were in the house for as little as possible. Like, all right, can we have dinner at 6:30? Because that's when Danny's dad gets home. If we all eat dinner at 6:37, we could be back out and play more before dark.
Man, that just
Shit,
makes me miss those days, big
it
bro.
does, man. It does.
Different world now. All right, big bro. I got it. When I do these interviews, you know what I mean. I kind of rigging the system, structure up some viral moments. So,
All right.
I need your top five. And as a basketball player, I'm really trusting that you're gonna have a legitimate top five. If you got LeBron in there, no worries. But uh, who's your top five all time?
I do mine with an asterisk because
Okay.
I don't put post players in with swingmen. I just don't feel like it's comparing Ray Lewis to Tom Brady. You can't compare what they do on the football field, right?
Point.
Uh, what they're asked to do and how to do it, and they can't generate it, on their own. Uh, so I keep big men separate. I go Jordan, Magic, Bird, or 1, 2, 3 for me.
There you
Uh,
go.
now, for a while, I was doing the put LeBron in it, but it's tough for. I mean, where he is now in his career, you can finally say where he should land. I don't think he's ever going to be better than those three. I
Yeah.
don't. I don't think. I mean, anything. His prime was his prime. I know he's got the longevity, but in their peak, what those guys did and how they raised everyone else up to a different level and were winning titles with it's those three. Like, and that's just maybe that's me being an old head and watching them and appreciating them. And as much as I wanted to beat Bird, I could still say Larry Bird is one of the greatest team players in all of sports history. You know, he doesn't have the flash, but his IQ was higher than anyone's I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'll put Kobe at 4. I'm going to do this one without LeBron. Kobe at 4, and then it gets that's where it gets dicey for me. You know, because I don't think any of the point guards that we've seen deserve it. I mean, if I had to put LeBron, I'd put LeBron at 5. I would put LeBron. I'd go Jordan, Magic, Bird, Kobe, LeBron. Without LeBron, it gets dicey, right? I don't think Steph is up there. I don't think KD is up there. But I'll put LeBron now just for argument's sake.
Respectfully, I like that list, big girl. I can respect that list. Especially, I like another one of those things we were talking about with nowadays, the recency bias. Everybody thinks Kawhi Leonard is a top 5 player. Like, you didn't see Moses Malone. You didn't see even Dominique Wilkins, although he never won a ring. Athletically, he did what all these dudes was doing 30 years ago. You know what I mean? So, respectfully, that list.
My top three post guys, I'll go Kareem, I'll go Shaq, and I'll go Duncan.
And fill it out? Who's the other 2?
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Okay, all right. Just making sure he was in there.
He's in there. I'm a huge Duncan guy because what Duncan did for so long, never having a losing season, always making the playoffs, having as many rings as Kobe, but he's not flashy
at all.
Banking it off the backboard from 14 feet away isn't a highlight. So it's like, Kobe gets a wide open dunk in the break. I'm like, all right, I'd rather have Duncan than Kobe. If that's me. I played the post, so I appreciate what he did. But yeah, Hakeem's there, and I'm a big David Robinson guy. I'm a really big David Robinson guy. You know, like I don't like putting guys in that I didn't see play. You know, Wilt, Russell, I didn't see them play, so it's tough for me to put guys like I can't put Oscar up there because I don't know, or Havlicek, you know, or Jerry West. I didn't really see these guys, so it's tough for me to factually rank them historically against guys that I've seen.
Yeah. And, that's a respect. My dad says the same thing. That's respect to the eras, because I talked to my dad about basketball. He like, Oscar the greatest. You can't get him off his needle. You know what I mean? You tell my dad, he think Magic Johnson is the rising and the setting of the sun. And then here I come with my Michael Jordan take. So, I think it's a respect to eras, but the old guys, I say with a list like yours, you got to look at competition too. Now, Wilt and Russell, they had each other for the most part, but we're talking about all of those guys that you mentioned, especially that's the golden era of big men. They had to go against each other night after night.
Yeah.
Days off, bruises, in that. So, but I like that you separate the two, because that's something that I think the nuance of basketball. With this positionless basketball, it's like, man,
how do you compare Reggie White against Jerry Rice, like, and what they bring to the, you know what I mean? Like, I like to compare against your contemporaries, and then you can have that debate, but that's just a matter of opinion. There's no fact. There's no concrete evidence,
That's a fact.
Like even linebackers, Lawrence Taylor is outside linebacker, Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher in the middle. You can't compare their impact because they're asked to do different things.
Exactly.
So it's I've always kept the big men separate, the post players separate from the guards and the swingmen. I feel that you can get more of a true list.
Yeah, and that's true. You know what I mean? Because you can't compare. Even as teammates, you couldn't compare Kobe and Shaq. And it was like Shaq is down in the paint with the biggest.
It's a non-winning argument. It's just arguing to argue because there's no concrete proof or evidence at that point.
Yeah,
you can't compare Isaiah Thomas to Shaquille O'Neal. Like, what the hell is that?
I gotta ask you something about LeBron James take though, big bro. Okay. I'm on record. I'm one of those people that give LeBron a hard time. All right. So respectfully, what has he done to I guess to say to impress you in the sense of blessing him with all-time greats? Because I'm gonna tell you my hot take about LeBron. He's not even top 100 to me. So nah.
I tell you this: before he bounced to LA, I was big on LeBron. Mm-hmm. I appreciate and I respect the fact that in high school he was labeled the next big thing and the king, and he delivered. When you look in the early 2000s and you look at that Cleveland Cavalier team and he took to the finals, man, it's like Drew Gooden, Ilgauskas, like guys working at Walmart now. He took to the freaking NBA finals as a young kid. The playoff series against Boston when he was unstoppable. LeBron had his prime. Some of the best basketball we've seen. Now, you can take the soft mentality, and I group KD in with this too. And I was a KD fan, a Net fan, so I was a KD supporter for a bit. Mm-hmm. I think they're mental marshmallows, man. I think they're fucking soft. I think they don't have the will and the drive to build and stay and go through the rough times, that they're always looking for easy street because everything always came easy for them. Mm-hmm. I think that holds against it when you look at all time. Who are my top three? Jordan, Magic, Bird.
Yeah.
The only reason Jordan left because they didn't want him anymore.
Yeah.
And they weren't going to renew him. They were the GM in the front office was the dickheads, as we saw with The Last Dance.
Yeah.
So I think staying in one place and keeping that place legitimate and great for all time. Like if you would have kept Cleveland elite for 20 years, then you're up there easy. But going to Miami the way you did it and going back to Cleveland and then bouncing to LA, I don't know. It wore thin on me.
Yeah.
Like the act of a charade and the always looking for someone else to help you accomplish your goals instead of just digging your feet in the sand and busting your ass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But that's not my mentality. That's not. I lose respect for that. And like I said, that's coming from a guy who loves KD. But same thing. OKC, you were close. You bounce out of there. You go join the team that beat you. What the fuck is that? Like, how soft are you, man? That's Charmin soft.
The softest.
That's liquid Jello. Didn't even mold yet. Soft, man. That's shit. It's not ready.
And you know what? I won a lot of money. That was in my college days when he did that. I won a lot of money on 2K with another dude on the sticks thinking he was going to play with some other team to beat. I like, KD he won me a lot of money with that. Although I will say I don't respect it at all. I did not. The talent balance when he went over there was just ridiculous. And the NBA was kind of boring for a few years. Let me ask you one more thing, big bro, before we get to our next. Because I'm very high on Steph Curry. You don't think Steph earned it? Number 5, same amount of rings, only unanimous MVP. And I'm talking about this dude is no bigger than the dude that delivered Jamil, accomplishing all of this big time stuff.
He's close. When we did on IOW, we were doing some rankings and we did the top 10 of all time, and I had him in the top 10. He's close. He would be 5-6. He's on there with he's right at where LeBron at 5 or being next. Him, KD, LeBron, KD, and Curry are like that 5, 6, 7 for me when we're talking guards and shooters. So he's there.
Yes,
I want to see how he ages. Like that matters because when you're 6'3" and you rely on your quickness to get that separation, to get that shot off, you lose half a step, and now you're not getting those shots off anymore. So I want to see how he ages. These next, 3-4 years, we'll say, he's got that longevity. He deserves it.
Yeah. Okay. I respect that.
I'm not against him. I I mean, I hated coaching youth basketball when he was shooting half-court shots because kids who can't make a layup are trying to throw the ball from half court in warm-ups. And Odell Beckham in 2013-14, I was saying Odell Beckham's one-handed catch and Curry shooting from half court are the worst two things to happen to youth sports because that's all those idiots wanted to do. Like, yo, you haven't made a shot the whole year. You threw a layup over the backboard and you're trying to throw the ball from half court at halftime when we're shooting around to warm up.
I will say I seen a revolution in youth sports when Steph got hot because it was crazy, and it was everybody. It wasn't just the little kids, the big kids. It was everybody, man. But I know we're on a time limit, Sean. So let's do part 2 for this, big bro. That's all good. But I don't want to hold.
Yeah, I got my show. We're doing Victory Monday at 12:00.
Word.
Proud New York Jets fan. Yeah.
Are you accepting guests?
I got my buddy Chaos on with me today.
No, that's fine.
Let me message him.
I'll pull up anywho. Just be in the audience.
It's all Jets talk. It's all Jets talk because it's the Jet channel.
I'm number 20. That's my fantasy quarterback running me to the Super Bowl. But for sure, big bro, you want to do your last plugs let the people know where they can find you once more?
Proud New York Jets fans on YouTube, IOW Sports Network on YouTube, Facebook each has a group also. But yeah, I got like 15 more minutes. Okay. We can rock out the rest.
Okay. Well, heck, let me get your assessment of your New York Jets. Speaking of, because I'm a big fan. I say more of an outside fan of the Jets. I like what y'all are putting together. Y'all got my quarterback, my boy.
Thank you. We had him. Like I blinked and then he was out.
Good redaction.
I never even got to see him play a play. I was at that tailgate, but the ticket prices were like almost $300, and I was like, I'm not going in. And I was trying to get an Uber to go home, and it took 2 hours to get an Uber out of there, and I never even got to see him play.
Well, nobody did for the better or worse.
I know.
300.
It was good though, man. He was throwing the ball yesterday. He's on the field, no crutches, stepping and throwing the ball. And today is 5 weeks from the day. And people are usually on crutches, 9 to 12 weeks after this surgery. And there's a lot of talk that he could be back this year if we keep winning, and it's worth it. So stay tuned, man. It could get interesting.
If you had to say a 1 to 10, what would you say on the scale of Mr. Rodgers coming back? Because I'm vested.
I think it depends on the team. We're 3-3 right now. After the bye, we have Giants, Chargers at home on Monday night, and at the Raiders for Sunday night. You win those 3 games, you're 6-3 going into Buffalo, who you beat already, and it looks like we have Josh Allen's number on defense. We made him look bad. We made Mahomes look bad. We made Hurts look bad yesterday. This defense embarrasses good quarterbacks.
They do.
So I don't know how the hell Dak had that game against us, but that's the anomaly, right? That's not consistent with what you see.
That's Dak for you, man. Dak.
We can beat the Bills and we can split with the Dolphins. If we could sweep the Bills, split with the Dolphins. We got Washington, we got Atlanta. We have Houston. We got New England again. We can go on a nice run here after the bye if we come out and take these first 3.
What do you think about Mr. Wilson? You think that he can keep the ship stable until
he's showing signs? He's showing growth at the mic as a leader and on the field. The kid's athletic. I think they need to use that a little bit more. I think sometimes the play calling is a little predictable, and he's not good enough to beat you being predictable. You got to catch them off rhythm, move the pocket, roll them out, do some little trickery here and there, do something to freeze the defense. You can't let defenses in the NFL play downhill and play against a predictable offense. No one will succeed. There's very few quarterbacks who can beat you when you know what they're going to do. That's what makes them the great ones, right? You know what we're going to do. This is the game plan, and you still can't stop it. Like Randy Moss. You knew what Randy Moss could do. You can do a goddamn thing against it. You knew Jerry Rice was going to run a slant and take you to the house, but you couldn't stop it. That's what makes the greats the greats. Zach's not a great. That's why you need the game plan, the misdirection, the freezing of the defense. A half a step in the NFL in the wrong direction is 3 steps for a receiver in the other direction. So you got to find ways to get guys open, get the ball out quick. He's been processing a lot better than he has in the past. So I'm looking forward to see And we'll know. Like right now, Zach looks like a guy who could be a long-term backup and then maybe evolve into a starter when Rodgers is done. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
rooting for him. I'm rooting for the kid. I love normally when you get written off and you get benched and you get that press conference that you had last year in New England where you turned on the team and made a stupid comment, normally you're dead to that team and you never get the opportunity to play again. And it's
Yeah.
amazing how everything has worked out for him to show that he's a leader now and the guys are responding to him and they didn't give up on him. We got a lot of character on the Jets. We
Oh
used
yeah.
to have a lot of characters and it'd be negative. But I mean,
Mm.
you see this team don't quit. We were down 17-0 at KC. We come back and lose 23-20. We were
Mm-hmm.
down 14-3 against the Eagles. We come back and win. You know, 17. What do we have? 12, 16,
It was
19,
17.
14, 19, 14. It was, I think.
Yeah.
So you're seeing a team that doesn't quit. You're seeing a coaching staff that makes adjustments. It's fun. It's fun to watch this team play. It is nerve-wracking because we can't figure it out in the first quarter. But once
Mm-hmm.
we figure it out in the first quarter, like we're taking your best punch and then we shut you out. Like we shut Philly out for 2 quarters. We gave up
Yeah.
6 points over the last 3 quarters to Kansas City. We held Buffalo to 16 points.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's fun. It's fun. I love defense. I've coached defense in Pop Warner. We're coaching my son. We went to Disney for the Pop Warner Super Bowl in 2019. I was the defensive coordinator. So I love defense. I know you got to score points, but man, I love winning a game 10-6. I love that shit. I love shutting you down on 3rd down and making you punt.
Same here, big bro. I do. I want to get one more take before you end the show. Brees Hall, that's my running back on fantasy. What's your assessment on the young man?
Well, today is a year since he ruptured his ACL in Denver.
Very true.
We've had some issues on the line. Elijah Vera Tucker went out. He was the right tackle. He was right guard and bumped out the tackle. We brought in our rookie who was supposed to be a center, Tittman, put him at guard. And the first 3 games, he was the highest rated 6th overall guard in the league and the highest rated rookie playing a position he hadn't played until 4 weeks ago. So you saw Brees starting to do some Brees things again. The opener on Monday night against Buffalo, he gets caught from behind. You saw he was in shape, but not game shape. He had the run against Kansas City where he went too quick now and he tripped up his tight end. He could have broke one there. He broke one last week in Denver. And Philly's a stout defense. And I think he only had 33 yards yesterday. He had 10 carries for 33 yards. He had the touchdown late that it looked like Philly gave us because they wanted to get the ball back. But watch what you wish for. You wanted the ball back, and our defense shut your ass out.
Another one. Another one bites.
We got the bye week now. So I like the early bye this year because it allows Brees to get even better and get even stronger. He's not his full self yet. He's shown glimpses of it. He's an elite back. And to not really miss a beat, just not be in game shape yet, a year after the ACL is Adrian Peterson type of stuff. Like you don't see this for a year and a half. Barkley took 2 years to come back and be himself. So I think the kid is a game changer. I love him.
Me too, big bro. I took him very high in my fantasy because I seen glimpses. It's funny you say Adrian Peterson. He kind of reminds me of AP with his running style. AP kind of had a bit of more of a power to his run, but Brees is right there. He just looks a little small. But
Brees' power is underrated, though. He's always falling forward. He's always driving through you, and even if you think you're going to stalemate him in the hole, he's falling forward for that extra yard or two. Curtis Martin was elite at that. Curtis always fell forward and got that extra yard or two. And you fall forward an extra 300 times in a season, that's an extra 300 yards at the end of the year. That adds up.
Yeah,
Curtis wasn't the fastest guy in the world. I called Curtis king of the 8 to 13 yard run because he'd get through the hole, take the angle to the sideline, and get 13 yards. You do that 5 times a game, that's a good game. You're getting 120 yards.
Yeah, you rack it up. Easy racking.
Yeah, I remember he's got some surprise strength, Brees.
Yeah, I like him a lot, and I'm very excited to see what he's doing. He's running me right to the Super Bowl right now. 3-3, but right there with the Jets, Jets. But pulling up, big bro. I'm gonna come on there and pop on your show, and y'all pull up over there. Proud NYJ fan, my big bro Sean, man. Thank you so much, bro, coming through.
No worries, man. Thanks for having me. We'll do it again.
Know my slogan, y'all the bosses. I'm the dude that love to work. Let me get back to work. Peace.